Hi, this is Bev from Technique Tuesday. Recently we got a question from a customer asking about bleed through and cardstock and what to do with markers. So I'm going to tell you my method. This is something I recently colored, and I used some of the Copic markers, and I'm using fairly light colors of markers, especially for this part out here. And as you can see on the back, I got bleed through. And my strategy for this is that I just don't worry about this very much. For the most part, what I use for my card fronts is the Nina Crest, the Classic Crest Solar White, and it's 80 pound. And this is the number, if you look on Amazon or somewhere like that, this is how you make sure you're getting the right stuff. And it just bleeds through. That's just kind of the way that it is. And so what I do is instead, I mount it on a card base that I've already made, and the card base that I use is 110 pounds, so it's going to end up like this. It'll be on the front of this. When you open it, you'll never see the bleed through. And the other reason I do that is because this heavier weight stuff just feels more substantial and holds up better as a card. And so what I use for the card base, let's see if I can show you. It's kind of covered over here a little bit, but it's this Nina Classic Crest. It's the same Solar White, and this is the number that you look for. So I make my bases out of this and my card fronts out of this, and I find that, let me push that back a little bit so you can see it, I find that this works really well for me. Now, another thing that I've tried in the past and haven't necessarily liked as well is to use this bleed-proof marker pad, and it's specifically designed to work with alcohol-based markers. Now, it is not cardstock. It is really thin, but it tends to not bleed through, and also it takes less of the ink that's in your markers out of the marker, so it takes less to get good coverage. But because it's so flimsy, you definitely want to use a card base on that one. It's a heavier card base. So what I've decided to do is to just use the 80 pound and accept that there's going to be bleed through for the card front, and then the 110 pound for the card base when I'm using markers. I hope that answers your question. If not, leave us another question and we'll do our best to answer that. Thanks for watching.